Chaos broke out last week in Gulu city when NUP presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi's convoy was intercepted by alleged UPDF soldiers and police. The candidate was later forced to proceed to his rally on foot, trekking nearly 5 kilometers, with supporters only to be confronted by unidentified groups who beat them with sticks and canes, leaving several supporters badly injured. In an interview, Nachi Ntusara, an aspiring parliamentary candidate for Mukono municipality, strongly condemned the conduct of the security forces, accusing police of fueling violence instead of maintaining order. She argued that opposition actors are being systematically frustrated in their efforts to campaign peacefully.
I think the police, the army have lost sanity, because they're supposed to protect the citizens in Uganda, but they are the ones inciting violence. How could you tear gas people who are just going forward on their campaign trail? How could you use that enormous force against people? How could you brutalize people to that level of hitting someone to the head and bleeding as such? So I think the police and the army no longer know their work. They're just here to frustrate the opposition. So this is where our plea is. Can we ask government to remove military and police from these campaigns? Because they're supposed to protect people, but they're inciting the violence.
She further criticized the government's silence, saying such inaction is gradually normalizing political violence.
I think the government has lost it all. It can't even say a word according to what is going on. These officers would have been held captive right now for doing what they are doing, but if none of them is being held accountable, so they are trying to normalize this.
Yvonne Pambara, a social justice lawyer and political activist, equally condemned the brutality meted out on citizens exercising their democratic right to support candidates of their choice. She stressed that civic participation should never be met with force, noting that the situation is becoming increasingly alarming.
It's very unfortunate that the state that has majority of these resources to be able to use them at their disposal has decided to militarize politics to this level, where we are seeing some of the presidential candidates being brutalized on the trail. And of course, this is not limited to just the presidential candidates. It's also being mated on Ugandans. We do not accept that level of violence, because leaders who love their people should not be letting them shed blood. They should not be brutalizing them. They should not be intimidating them for merely participating in what we call their civic duty. And we know that this is enshrined in the supreme law of the land. It's enshrined in the constitution.
Security agencies were heavily faulted for their actions, while the public was encouraged not to be intimidated, but to turn up in large numbers and exercise their right to vote in the 2026 elections.
A few weeks to us voting in January, now we are seeing all forms of violence that have been the trend for so many other elections in the past being repeated again in the 2026 election. It's unfortunate, and we call out majority of these forces that are brutalizing Ugandans, and we feel that we should be intolerant towards what is happening. It should not be happening, honestly.
So this is our plea to the members. Come out massively and vote the candidate of your choice to change. If you want to see a new Uganda, and this is the only chance we have. If you don't come out to vote, then we shall have the government as it is now, and nothing new will change.
Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission issued a press statement condemning the violence, but the lingering question remains: will Uganda hold peaceful, free and fair general elections in 2026? With tensions rising just 38 days to the 2026 polls, the violence in opposition campaigns has intensified public concern over the safety and fairness of the electoral process. As condemnations grow and calls for accountability echo nationwide, all eyes now turn to security agencies and the Electoral Commission to ensure that democracy is upheld and that Ugandans can vote without fear.